Radio check, radio check. Can you guys hear me? If you could confirm in chat, that would be amazing. Yeah. Slylex says hi. Hi. I think you can hear me. Everything should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Welcome everyone to the Dutch Grand Prix quali stream. We have been waiting quite a while for this after the summer break, and now we had the free practice sessions, which we kind of got some data. I think at least we know who might surprise us to come up on the top. We kind of know who might disappoint us, and yeah, McLaren looks like they are safely at the top. Okay, everyone is in chat. Paula, hi Paula. Hi Mike, Slylex, Brian 3224. Hello everyone. And there's Grash. Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. We already have 188 people in the stream and 51 likes, so thanks everyone for liking the stream. It really helps us out if you click the like button at the beginning before everything starts, as YouTube then brings more people to the channel, so yeah, we can grow community. And yeah, I just wanted to go through maybe even the whole weekend so far, and we just have some key takeaways. Hey Maitan. So yeah, in FP1 we had FP1 and FP2 we had some red flags and some incidents. Antonelli was the first one to cause a red flag. Then we had Lewis Hamilton do a 360 spin, which he saved. And then in the end, when they were doing the practice starts, we got a mistake or a lockup by Max Verstappen, who couldn't get into turn one and he went straight into the gravel. So that was basically the main events happening in FP1. For the results, we had the McLaren on top, and surprisingly, Aston Martin was right there with Stroll and Alonso on P3 and P4. Ferrari, on the other hand, was struggling a bit, and they were to the back of the grid in the second half. So I don't know if that's, yeah, they're gonna struggle today, or maybe they're hiding something. We will see today in quali and tomorrow in the race. Williams also was good in FP1. They were in the top 10. So yeah, that's a quick recap of FP1. In FP2, we've got Hamilton again doing a 300 spin. I think I already know what I'm gonna do for him when we do the comedy grids on the Facebook page. Yeah, the fidget spinner is gonna be there for sure. And in FP2, again, McLaren's dominated, but Aston Martin was still close. At least Alonso was still close because Stroll had an incident and he hit the wall. So Aston Martin was still looking good in FP2. And it is a different story in FP3. We had, let me see the data. So when you look in the data with ideal and best lap, McLaren is way ahead from everyone. Piastri has still some pace to add to his best lap, but Norris is leading for now. Then we have Russell, Sainz, Verstappen, and Leclerc kind of in their own bracket, fighting for that third position. And then we have Albon, Stroll, Hajar, Alonso, Lawson, and Tsunoda. And if we go further, there's Bortoleto. Hamilton is disappointingly low. And Antonelli seems that he couldn't find his pace today, so he's really struggling, or maybe he's trying new things. Maybe they're trying different setups for Russell and Antonelli. But yeah, in the last races, I think Antonelli has been falling behind compared to Russell and to the other rookies. So we will see how it's gonna go in quali. We might see some rain, it's still not sure, but the rain will definitely spice things up. Kemeke says, I lost mine. Yeah, the crowns on the in chat, they go only for the top three fans, and that is decided by YouTube. So if you go into the chat on the top left, you see a crown that says top fans, and you can see actually what is your position and how much experience you have. So YouTube is tracking that and is showing it in chat. So we don't have anything to do with it. But I think it adds more experience if you're active in chat, if you're buying super chats, donations, and yeah, the longer you stay in stream, you are getting more experience. So currently, Paula is number one, Slylex number two, and 65th the Blue is number three. So yeah, I think they were in the stream from the beginning, and even before the beginning of the stream. I think it still counts if you stay in stream even when it's not started. So yeah, just keep in mind that, and yeah, you're gonna get your experience and move up into this list. Hipotenusa says 3 p.m., not 4 p.m. Yeah, it's 3 p.m. your time. Because I think we are from the same country, so we are in the same time zone. Okay, everyone is here. Inspector Sepp is also here. Yeah, 65th the Blue says, I got in early. Yeah, I think that probably is a big reason why you're in the top three. But you're also active in chat and yeah, you stay long in the stream, so it makes sense. And for those who don't know, yeah, I am not gonna be doing the commentary. Grash is gonna be here to cover that part. So I'm just here with you to hang out until the time for the commentary is up. We have, let's see, 25 minutes, a bit less than 25 minutes until the green flags. So we have quite some time to talk about things. I put a poll on the stream about who will qualify higher today because I really think that it's gonna be between Norris and Piastri, and unless there's some rain or something strange happens, some red flags, I think they are gonna be the ones that are gonna dictate the fastest laps. And from what you can see, it seems that you think Norris will be the one that will take the pole position of Piastri. But of course, we cannot rule out Verstappen on his home race, and Aston Martin looks strong. I don't know, maybe they can do some surprise, so we will see. Hey Andrew, welcome to the stream. Nathan says, will Ryan commentate anytime this season? Maybe he'll come back for some race, I'm not sure. But yeah, he's taking a sabbatical this year, so we will see for sure for next year. This one, I think if he wants to come back for a session or two, he's welcome. Otherwise, maybe we'll see him next year. Danish this is Singapore. I'm not sure what this refers to. Maybe where are you from? And that would be nice to see, like if you can type in chat where are you watching us from and what time is it there. I think we haven't done that in a while, and there are new people here. Hey John Smith, welcome to the chat. See how it's going on the other platforms because we are running it on Twitch, on Facebook, I think also on TikTok. So I can't really track everything, but I'll try. So we have Nathan from South Africa, Andrew watching from Hanoi, 1937. Hypotenusa, same time zone as Zandvoort, so in Europe. John Smith, 1437, that's the same time I'm in. Danish from Singapore, Meike from Netherlands, Chicago, Tasmania, Hobbiton, the Shire. Oh, I love that. And of course, Grash is in Texas. Way too early in Texas. I think from everyone in chat, probably it's earliest where you are, Grash. Iowa, okay, that's the same. Well, Vancouver beat you 537. Enfield 1338, probably from UK. Leticia from Italy. 65 says that's dedication. That's true dedication. I mean, it's really hard for me to get up that early. I can only imagine how it is for you. Sam says, dude, you sound different today. Yeah, it's not Grush. I think you're expecting Grush to talk. So this is actually racing statistics. And yeah, Grush will join us before the quali starts, and you will see the same old voice that you're used to. And we'll lose this accent. You're gonna hear the native American English. Slide X is Welsh. So we are from all over the world. I guess yes, we like your voice. Well, I don't like it that much, so but I appreciate it. Thanks, Paula. Let's see. Well, the poll is still on, and now it's a bit lower for Norris, 59, 41%. Hipotenusa, yeah, the first language is Macedonian. I don't know Albania, to be honest. So this is the time if you have some bold predictions, and actually, I'm trying to figure out a way I want to do in the free practices and maybe before quali that we can do all some predictions, and then we can see after the race or after quali how well we guessed. So I'm not sure if you have any ideas how to do it. I was thinking to create some Google Forms, which I'll drop the link in the live stream, and you can just try to guess, try to add your predictions, and then we can show some stats and how you all guessed, so we can see what is the knowledge of the chat for Formula One. So that's one option. But I don't know if there's maybe a better way. Maybe there are some platforms where you can do such polls in a more easy and more interesting, engaging way rather than Google Forms. But for me right now, it seems like Google Forms is the easiest thing to do. And I've seen other people do this kind of predictions, so maybe we can figure something out, like who will get pole, who will get on the podium, who will get the win, or who will like what which team will get more points and which team will get least points, like the best team and the worst team in the race weekend. Who will be driver of the day could be also one thing to predict. Yeah, I'm gonna think about it, and I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to help me to make it interesting. Vanjdeep Sain says, I can create a website for you for this purpose. Well, we already have a website. It's, let me see, racingstatisticsf1.com. So that's the website, but maybe we can add something on the website. Yeah, I think the predictions on Discord are still running, but I haven't had much time to check and to see, because that was more like a Discord thing, and not all the people that watch here have Discord, so I think this needs to be a separate thing. But Ansh, that's interesting idea. If you can send me a message on Discord or an email, I can yeah, I can see what we can do on the website, because it would be even better if we, instead of doing it with Google Forms, we do it on the website. Okay, Grash says it was just a Google form. Well, yeah, we can maybe adapt that and yeah, start using that one in the streams. I think there were some points awarded if you guess correctly, and I really haven't dug deep into it. Yeah, maybe we can use that one. That could be interesting. I'll check it out after the stream or tomorrow after the race. But I like also the idea of Launchdeep that says that we can do this on the website. That would be more customizable and automatically calculating some stats. So it's yeah, we can try that. Love Panda says, how many hours did I get timed out? Yeah, I'm not sure, but I can check later. I can remove probably the timeout, so all should be good. Yes, here everybody. It's my channel expecting the best of the best racing information, knowing I'm new to F1. Well, welcome Geneva. Yeah, it's pleasure to have you here, and that's why we're all here. Even if you are new or an old fan of F1, you are all welcome here. Okay, we have 15 minutes to go. I think Grash is already preparing himself. So as soon as he is ready, he will take over the mic. Until then, feel free to ask me any questions. If you have any ideas, any feedback on the new layout actually, because I really try to improve the layout and have put some other things in place. We have now this new graph below the timings that tracks the driver that is on a fast lap. I think that will come really useful in quali because we can see who is the next driver driving a fast lap. Otherwise, it's a bit hard to see in the whole timing sheet because many drivers could be going into a fast lap. But this one should show the driver who is closest to the finish line that is going on a fast lap, so we know who is the next one we should pay attention to. So I think that that's going to be really useful also for me, and I believe also for Grash to see who is on a fast lap, especially when Q1, Q2, or Q3 session is ending, like when the drivers are doing their final fast laps. Well, Geneva, if you want to learn more about F1, you're in the right place. You can also join us on Discord. There's a lot of discussion there. And yeah, feel free to ask any question. If anything is unclear, we are here to explain it. We have 370 people watching and 99 likes, so thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button because it really helps the channel out and it's free to do. And also check if you are subscribed to the channel. Sometimes a lot of people think they are subscribers, but they actually aren't, because I see in the stats that only 30% of people watching are subscribers. So yeah, just check that and make sure to hit the bell so we get the notifications. Andrew says it's great layout. Thank you, Andrew. And don't worry if you're a Hamilton fan. I mean, we are all fans here. Obviously, some drivers have more fans, some have less, but everyone is welcome. Andrew says 100 like, well, we're already at 105, so that's awesome. Ayman, hello. Okay, we are less than 12 minutes until the first quali session after the summer break. I'm really excited about this one. Paul said Grash is gonna be our commentator. I'm just to warm up the mic before he joins. Let's hear what are your predictions maybe for Q1. Do you think that someone will be out of Q1 which you wouldn't expect him to do that? Like I actually don't even know who I would expect to go out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tsunoda there, or Aston Martin is doing well, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Stroll out in Q1. Pro builders. Yeah, thank you for that comment. I mean, we also use multi-viewer, but we also use some other things and try to make it as visually better for you, whether you're looking at it on TV or on mobile or on a laptop. I know it's a bit hard to watch it on a mobile, but at least you can hear the commentary and have some information close to you. Says, what is your name? Well, let's keep that a secret until 150 subscribers, 150K subscribers, so we can do a name reveal then. For now, it's gonna be racing statistics, and you know me by that name, so it's fine. 65 says both Astons in Q3. Yeah, that I could see that happening. They have had a good weekend, and if everything goes well, I would expect them to be into Q3. Let's see in FP3 who else. Well, Science was really good in FP3 and Albon, so maybe even both Williams could be in Q3. From the performance so far, I think a surprise exit in Q1 might be Antonelli or even Hamilton. He has struggled a lot in with those spins in FP1 and FP2, and in FP3 he also didn't have a very good time. Maybe that could be a surprise exit, but I don't know. Yeah, Grash will cover the Russell Alonso issue when I get on air, when he gets on air. Because I really couldn't. I mean, if I start reading about it now, there will be dead silence, and yeah, better for Grash to cover it. John Smith says I use my notebook, smaller laptop to watch this. Yeah, well, let us know if you think everything is big enough for you to watch clearly. Maybe we can shift some things up. Actually, we should probably make a poll to see how are you watching the stream mostly. Is it on TV, on mobile, or on PC? That could be good to see and maybe adapt some things based on where most people are watching the stream. 65 says Adrian New is flexing at Aston. Yeah, I think I read some articles that Lance Stroll is very satisfied with the work of Adrian, says that he's into his uh he's locked into making the 2026 car the best possible. It would be really fun to see Aston Martin fighting for wins next year. Imagine that Alonso or even Stroll fighting for the championship. That would be a really, really good season to watch. Okay, I think we are 8 minutes to go, and now it's time to summon Grudge. And I think you all know what you need to do in chat. So this is the only time that we can spam in chat. So type your G's in chat, and we are gonna be summoning Grudge in a minute.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening, or dead night as it may be. sure I don't echo through myself. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Race 6 channel. This is Grash with you with coverage for quali right now. We're waiting for, basically, we're about 7 minutes away from green light at the end of the pit lane to start quali session. So it's BQ1. So two stories that came out of yesterday. McLaren was fined 5,000 euros for the incident with Oscar. Basically, Oscar came in, left the fast lane. There was someone in the way. They told him to go around. Came back out into the fast lane and basically in the way of George Russell. Came back in, and I almost thought when I saw this happen yesterday, I thought that Russell had hit Oscar. That wasn't actually the case. Came close to it. But ultimately, McLaren fell on their swords and basically said we could have done better. And so they only fined the team 5,000 under the article under the infringement. Now, during pre-practice 3, basically they told George to come in at the last moment, and he came across the track and basically pinned Alonso into the pit lane, and they could have collided. Basically, Russell backed off at the last moment, but it forced Alonso to abort his lap and go into the pit lane. Basically, again, the team fell on their swords again. Basically said that they hadn't warned that Alonso was on a lap when Russ was going to the pits. One of the things is that they, except that the driver they had no way that car 14 was approaching. Given the circuit that turn 14 is a blind corner, so they're merely so looking in the mirrors wouldn't have prevented what occurred. So they only imposed a fine of 7,500 euros to the team for filling the one driver, and they basically, given the circuit, it would have been more prudent to kept right of the track to leave space for faster cars coming around the corner. They're basically just giving him a warning. So it's a 75,000 euro to the team and a warning to Russell. So no, basically any no place penalties, no sporting penalties being issued so far this weekend. So, having said that, we've had a lot of other incidents. In fact, the F1 social media team was on point yesterday when they actually made an 8-minute long video about all the incidents that happened. This is Hamilton spinning twice in free practice 1, practice 2. Several drivers getting beached into the sand, including Max Verstappen being beached after the end of FP1. I literally had to come back on the ear because that had happened because it was so out crazy and wild. And then, yesterday we had Lance Stroll basically bidding his car in turn 3. So we did definitely had a day of craziness yesterday. It did rain earlier today. The track was wet when we started FP3. So the track was green. So what this means, and I don't know what the weather's been like since we left. Looks clear, looks good. So the track has been drying. It looks like apparently. So because of this, the track's not rubbered in as you would expect it to be. So we definitely will have track evolution. So as cars go around the track, you're going to put more rubber down on the track. And that will give more grip. That's basically and so as more rubber goes down, you get more grip, cars go faster, and that is what track evolution is, essentially. So you'll hear that phrase come up a couple times. Effectively, what this means for what that means in terms of a technical and a strategical standpoint is cars that are going further later are going to get a benefit from cars that go sooner in the session. So you want to be like the last person going over the line effectively is best is most to get that benefit of track evolution. What you guys are saying right now. I want to thank everyone who's over in Twitch chat. I want to thank everyone in YouTube chat. Got a good number already. We are under a minute and 30 seconds to go right now before we go live, before we get a green light. Um, Not everyone's in their car just yet, so we're looking at Lando. He's got his helmet on, but he's not in this car just yet. Oh yeah. Again, one of the benefits of being having joined particularly the YouTube channel, we've got more on the YouTube channel. There's a few in Twitch, and we'll get more over Twitch as we get more slots opened up. But one of the benefits of having joined the channel, particularly, is there is a slate of emojis, and several of them include drivers. So I think I got them all. So I threw them all into chat. We also have a Patreon, so if you guys want to support us in other ways, that's another way you can do it. Right now. Boss, do we still have the store open? Or was I the only one who bought something out of there? At the end of pit lane right now, and qualifying. It's about to start. No one's lined up at the end of pit lane though. No one has left the garage. 18 minutes on the clock. We have a wave being done by the crowd right now. And green light has. We have a green light. Here we go. We've got Sonoda, Akon. Again, live. So if you give us a sec, we're getting refreshing our streams at the moment. But that's not a big deal. Again, everyone is out right now, so when those refresh, again, we've got about a minute or so before we get any times. Risk of rain for F1 qualifying session is 10%, and that's for all 3 qualifying sessions. Right now, it doesn't look like we'll have any rain at the moment. So, but they're by the sea, can easily form something quickly in 15 minutes or so. So we'll wait. We'll go back to some Ackerman in Twitch chat. Yeah, gentlemen. So 18 minutes on the clock. I mean, they have 18 minutes to make their best to make the best lap time. With 18 minutes, there will be multiple. They can usually do about 2 or 3 attempts at their laps. So so right now Sonoda is on his flying lap. He's just started gasoline Ocon on the first 3 to go. So these early laps, these early attempts, we refer to them as banker laps because they're basically banking a time so that so at least they're on the board. Alcon is reporting on his radio the wind is a bit gustier than expected. So that is something that can force errors and issues. Watching thought I saw something kick up. It looked like the white puff of smoke behind his car. It could be just the way the camera was pointed. Could have been a light effect because he's still moving pretty close. Well, he's got the fastest second sector. Clerk has the fastest first sector right now. Ocon who completed their lap, basically had the fastest third sector so far. Again, this is early on. Tsunoda's a 110.661. Gasly's a 110.981. Colpino's a 111.132. Aka did a 111.183. Yeah, these 111 lap times are not going to stick. Bimman is a 110.262. I'm not even sure about these 110s as well. I suspect the cut time will be in the 109. Given what we saw in quali. Clerk does a 110.621. So the gap is 359. And then 399 to Sonata P3. Again, we only have half of the cars on track so far. Half are still in the garage. We have a yellow flag, and it's Stroll. And Lance Stroll, what happened to Lance Stroll? So Stroll did hit the barrier. He has managed to get back to the pits. So that's why we have. I'm not following what happened. Where did he hit it? Oh, Stroll. Oh, okay. So Stroll lost control of the car, spun, went into the gravel, hit the wall, but he didn't do enough damage to collapse the wheel. Lost part of his wing. He does manage to get back into the pit lane and back to the garage. So it could, in theory, he could get back out. If the damage is not significant. Okay, so what I'm seeing from behind the cars is more dust. And I heard that the track was very dusty this weekend. I'm now just seeing that dust. It's now showing up on screen. I'm noticing it now for the first time. So we had just again, Lance Stroll has lost control of the car, went across gravel, hit the wall, but managed to keep the car moving and got back to the garage despite damage. So again, it's one of those. We'll see if he gets back out onto track. Given put it this way, Stroll has made a representative lap, so if he does not complete qualification, the stewards will allow him to race. But that's a horrible situation to be in for Aston Martin. They've pulled the front nose off of his car. He's asking that he's done, and they're like, "Stay in the car for now," is what they're saying. So again, one of the things that could happen here is that if there's a red flag that happens, and they're fine. So Stroll dips his front left wheel into the grass, and when he goes to the curve, he loses control of the car, and he loses part of his front wing as well. Yeah, he dips into the grass, hits dirt, and he loses control of the car. Doesn't have the grip to make the turn. Amazingly, he continues to roll, and gets back to the pits. So Right now, for lap times right now, Max is on top of the board with 109.754. Hamilton has gone second with a 110.224. Leclerc has gone P4, Sonoda P5. Behrman is P3. Behrman is now coming out of the pit. So right now, Max is. See if Max pits. He's coming on the line. He's done a cool down lap after his first lap. Yeah, Max going to. So Max is pitting, and that's to be expected. Behrman is on an out lap right now. Clark has pitted. I'm just looking right now. Hulkenberg, Gasly on out laps. Right now we got Norris, Oscar on their first attempts. Russell on their flying lap. Stroll has pitted. Isaac and Alonso on their flying laps. So we're going to see a lot of times quickly. So Russell to P2, 110.55. Antonelli goes to P2, 110.44. He is 51 thousandths faster than his teammate. Norris has gone top of the board, a 109.469. So these 109 times, like Norris, Verstappen right now, Oscar goes P2 with a 109.627. So these are definitely, these are guys who are safe going into Q2. Alonso has just gone P4 with a 109.950. So definitely these 109s are safe going into, and Isaacs did a 110.106. I think right now we've got Ocon. The bottom 15 to 20 right now have not done a time. Lawson has done a P8, 110.2. Science does 11, 110.35. I think that, trying to think. I think a 10.5 is where the cut line might be. It probably might get the lower down to 10.4, 10.3. It's going to get tight. Ocon did a 10.6. That puts him at 14th. Here comes Behrman, Hamlin, Norris. Behrman comes across the line, and that was cool down lap, I believe. Hulkenberg does a 10.1. That goes to P8. Borlau does a 10.4 to 14th. Yeah, it might go down to T. Yeah, right now I would say that from P9 through is P10. Lawson is now P10 with a 10.2. Hulkenberg. Yeah, we're going to see from Russell is like a 10.055. He will probably go out just to make sure he's safe. Gasly just went P6 with a 10.043. So the gap of 574. From Sonoda, he does a 10.449. That moves him up to 16th. Clerk does 14th with 10.38. We're looking at Hamilton right now. He is on a flying lap. So the only one who has not actually set a time after this point will be Stroll. We'll see if he gets back out onto track. Hamilton pits. Ocon pits. Behrman pits. Hulkenberg is likely to pit. Borrell the next after that. He's likely to pit as well. So we're now cycling through our order right now. So as things stand, Norris is top of the board with 109.496. Oscar is 1.58 back. It's a 109.627. Verstappen and Alonso are in the 109s, and then we get into the 110s. So Antonelli is at 110.004. Gasly 043. Russell 055. I could see Antonelli, Gasly, Russell going out as possibly going out as a response to make sure that they are safe. Again, we're within a half a second from P5 through P15. Right now, again, Albon right now is Driver at risk at P15 with a 10:43. 2,000ths difference. 425 is Bartlett 16th. Sonoda is a 449. Colpino 561 and Oghan is a 643. So we're talking about no more than 2/10 between the driver at risk and those who are in the cut zone. And then another 5/10, half a second from P5 down to P15. So we could see several drivers go out as a result. Those who are in Twitch chat, we do have a prediction that have just been started. Thank you, Vero, for putting out that new prediction. Again, who will get the poll today? There we got one person who's put points down on Alonso. People have a Lando. So predictions will close and Twitch in about 19 minutes. As we move forward, we've got about 4 minutes left in this session, and we've got Norris, Oscar. Now that's more bragging rights. Verstappen's coming out. Russell's out. Now Russell is 7th. That is for safety. Antonelli is 5th. So the 5 that have just come out don't necessarily have to. Antonelli Russell maybe for protection. But definitely, it was bragging rights for Norris, Oscar, and Verstappen. Isaac, right now, who is 8th, is next. Behrman, 12th. So these are drivers who definitely have to, for protection sakes. Sainz, Albon, Sainz is 13th, Albon is 15th. These are guys that definitely have to make better times. Gasly, right now, 6th, doesn't really have to go out. Norris is now on his flying lap, and Oscar's going to be on his flying lap. Hamilton's going to be out next. This is getting interesting. There's a lot of drivers who should be coming out, haven't yet. I'm assuming there's a line in pit lane at this moment. But a lot of drivers who didn't have to go out did go out. So it's going to be interesting as we get. It's going to be traffic all over the place as well. Norris 2/10 off is his best time in Sector 1 so far. As he comes to Sector 3, he is a 10th off his best time. So he's about 3/10 down so far on this lap. So we're looking at 109.7.8 if he doesn't make any improvements. And it ends up being 109.719 for Lando. So he's now moving chicane for the rest of here. Oscar's going to go 109.338. He takes the fastest second sector. He's off by 40 thousandths of a second in his best time. Russell goes up to 3rd. Again, Russell improves in Sector 1 and Sector 3. Max moves up to 109.696. Here comes Antonelli Hamilton. Antonelli moves up to 5th. Hamilton does not improve in his time. My apologies. Hamilton is now starting flying lap. So is Leclerc. Here comes Isaac. Isaac does a 109.966. Bamman goes to 12th. His last lap. Sainz goes up to 8th. Here comes Lawson across the line. Albon moves up to 5th. So right now, Leclerc is the driver at risk, though he is on a flying lap. Orlello is on his flying lap. Sonoda is on an out lap. Colpino, Ocon are on flying laps. Stroll has not left the pits. At this point, he will not get out of the pits. He will finish 20th and be knocked out. Alonso and Hulkenberg on flying laps now. So a lot of drivers. Hamilton moves up to 8th. Comes Leclerc. He jumps up to 9th. He's gonna it's gonna get him safe. Barlow moves up to 13th at 110.037. Comes Lawson. Right now, 15th, the driver at risk. Comes to the line. It's a 109.779, which is the 5th. P5. So that is going to knock out Bierman. Ocon does a 110.197, 16th. Yeah, will knock him out. We still have Snowden and Colapino. Colapino goes up 15, knocks out Hulkenberg. No, he doesn't knock out Hulkenberg yet. He's still on his flying lap. Sonoda is a 109 to 12. That will knock out Colapino now. So we still have Hulkenberg left with Borrello, his teammate, at risk. Hulk does a 110.261 and goes to 17th and doesn't make it. And I think that is it, everyone. So Colapino, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Bimmer, and Stroll are going to be the 5 drivers who are being knocked out. So both Haas is out, one of the Stakes, one of the Alpines, and one of the Aston Martins is out in Q1. I want to thank everyone. This has been Q1. It'll be a few minutes before we get into Q2. This is now, again, the Race Statistics channel, and this is Crash with you live. For those of you who are in Twitch chat, there is a prediction still up about who will get pole. That will run for another 13 minutes, so until the end of into Q2, effectively. Oh, there is... Looking at right now what you guys are looking at. Burrell makes it into Q2. I think the surprise is that Lawson got up to 5th, Albon in the 6th, Antonetti in 7th, and Gasly's 8th. They were all ahead of Ferrari. Snowden did 109.9454 and Max did a 109.696. So it's about 0.3 difference between those two. We've got a yellow flag on Sector 16. This is after turn 12. This is likely something on the track that they need to clean up. Again, with so much gravel here, I'm not surprised. So this will likely delay us by a few minutes for Q2 while they clean the track. So looking at what you guys have said in chat, I've been focused on, unfortunately, what's been happening. Bill Cody. At least Stroll was able to drive it out of the gravel and didn't bring out the red. Oh, how disappointed I am in Bill. FI Stewart, Q1 is involving Snowden, Antonelli, and Oscar are investigated failing. I think this is a max delta time. F1 Dash looks like it is now gone. A lot of servers gone this weekend. That's very interesting. It's not what I'm looking for. By timing. Getting any. Yeah, I'm trying to find race control messages at the moment. What I was using to read them is not working at the moment. What time is Q2? It should be in a few minutes. Right now, we are waiting. Basically, track is clear now, so we're just waiting for green light. They are lined up. They're lining up at the end of pit lane right now, so it'd be a minute. I believe the pit lane, the incident between Oscar Antonelli and Sonoda, that was max delta. So basically, they were going at some point they were going too slow. Typically, those have been waived off by the. It's something that's been automated, and basically they've been waived off most of the time by race control. Vertical Science Best Overlooked Driver. Red Bull should have got him. Well, the reason Red Bull didn't look at him is that he had been a teammate with Max Verstappen before, years, about 5, 6, 7 years ago, and there were fireworks between those two guys before, and so they weren't exactly looking to revisit that. Yeah, don't tell me that Science wasn't gonna try and go in and push Max and try and be the number one driver on Max. That ego is there. So that. So can Stroll race tomorrow? It being asked in chat. Yes, Stroll will most likely be allowed to race tomorrow. He did make a representative lap in practice, and that will allow, even though he doesn't qualify today, that will allow him to be placed in P20 at least. It's very likely that Aston Martin will break Park Fermi as well, and mostly to do repairs on the car, do any changes in the car. So it's very likely that they will break Park Fermi as well, and he'll be a pit lane start. Clark and Hamilton, the first two out for in Q2. And we got about a few more seconds before they start their flying laps. Flying lap means basically that they are doing a lap for qualifying. They're going as fast as possible for qualification purposes. So that's when they're again, as Shakar says, when they set their times. So basically, what we're looking, the terms you're looking for, an out lap is when they have left the pits. A flying lap is typically the lap after that. Though there are scenarios you'll see drivers go around twice to put a temperature into their tires, and then do their flying lap, because they exert stress on and temperature in the tires. You'll will hear us as the next lap as a cool down lap, where they get their tires back into an operating range, regenerate battery, and prepare to go for another qualifying lap or come in the pits. So it looks like Hamilton and Leclerc. No, they've finished their flying laps. So Leclerc does a 110.034. Hamilton does a 110.140, which are meh. They're okay, but they're banker laps effectively. What's the opposite of the flying lap? That's basically the cool down lap. That's the lap after you do your flying lap. Is that you're getting tires down to a cooler temperature before you go into a, before you overheat them. Looking right now, we just hit a 630 followers over on Twitch. That's one of our goals. We're on our way to 1,000. So thank you everyone over there. Again, I want to thank the thousands who are watching already on YouTube. Also, right now on a flying lap. Took the banking at a weird angle and saw some sparks. Matthew is hoping for a Verstappen wonder. Oh, yourself some time. Again, Max has got to get into Q3 first. He's on his flying lap right now. He's got the fastest first sector. Lawson starting his flying lap right now. Here comes Gasly starting his flying lap. Science is coming to the line. He's going to be starting his flying lap. So is Albin. So we've got a lot of people right now. Hamilton and Leclerc are coming back out of the pits. So is Oscar. So they had Oscar starting out originally. Russell to the top of the board with 109.63. 636. Stapp top of the board, full purple lap with 109.112. That is definitely going to. He's safe for getting into Q3. But we'll probably see him do another lap. Antonelli does 109.6. That's a P2. That will most likely get Antonelli into Q. Antonelli and Russell most likely are going to get into Q3. Sonoda getting a 109.6. That's P3. He's half a second behind his teammate. But that, right now, I'm suspecting that might get him to Q3. We'll see how things go. We'll see as more times populate. Lawson does a P5, 109.726. Gap is 604. Gasly does a 110.235. 237, that is. That is not going to do well. Science says 109.765. Yeah, we're looking at 109s or bust right now in these early numbers. Oscar's on flying up. Albin gets a 109.652. Goes to P5. Right now, the bottom five have not set times. Norris goes to the top of the board, 108.874. So it's a quarter second faster than Max. Barlow does a 109.776. That's P9 right now. Next to come across the line will be Isaac. Does 109.515. That gets him to P3. That's ahead of Antonelli and Sonoda. Antonelli and Sonoda are pitting. Alonso's next to come across the line. He's on his flying lap. And we'll see Lawson. Alonso does a 109.657. Oscar's at 108.964. He's 9 thousandths behind his teammate. That's P2 for Oscar. Norris P1, Oscar P2. Clerk does 109.304. That's P4. I think Hamilton right now is on a flying lap. Science pitting. I think Albin's pitting. So Hamilton is on a flying lap at the moment. Fastest second sector for Hamilton. Good half a tenth. Hamilton's going to go P4, fastest second sector. That's a 109.261. So as it stands right now, with 6:15 left to go in this session, Albin is the driver at risk. It's a 109.652. Russell is P9, 109.636, and Tsunoda is P8, 101.622. Antonelli 7th, 601, and Isaac is 109.515. So we're a tenth from P10 to P7, just to give you an idea where how tight we are. Alonso is a 109, 657. He's 5 thousandths out of contention right now in P11. Lawson is a 109.726. Science is a 109.765. Borrell 109.770. Again, another tenth, and a little 12th through 14th. It's another tenth. And Gasly is a 110. So again, we're looking at a very low cut line. 109.5 maybe. I mean, I could see Leclerc going out to protect, to basically protect, to go for a better time, because we could see drivers jump as even they can find 2, 3, 4 tenths. They'll make it in. Again, I want to put in this perspective. Isaac, who's P6, is 109.515. P14 is 109.770. The difference between those two is 2.5 tenths, quarter of a second. Again, we're looking at about 10 drivers within quarter of a second, 2.5 tenths. Why is everyone in the pits? Basically, they're resetting before they go back out. There may be adjustments. They'll put on a different set of tires in some cases, but that's normal to see them all pit. With 5 minutes to go, all of the drivers pitting, and now they're coming back out. And Norris is the first one to come out. While we got time, as we're resetting for this last go in Q2, now's a great time to like and subscribe. If you hit the bell on YouTube, you'll get notifications. For those of you who are on Twitch, if you follow the excuse me, if you follow the channel and you have your notifications set up properly, you will get them. Excuse me. We got 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go, and we've got cars cycling out. So Russell, Antonelli, Norris, Tsunoda, Verstappen are the first 5 out. It's very likely we will see all of the drivers come out. Not sure why they're sending Norris out, but they are. Norris is going to start a flying lap, maybe start a flying lap. He's not improving in his times on that lap. See if he's being a mobile chicane or if he's going around. But at least definitely with Norris out, it's a threat of him being doing a new flying lap. It's the same with Oscar and Max out at the moment. They're on their out laps. Hamlin's still in the pits. We're at the point where they have to get out, and they won't. They have to be on track now, otherwise they won't make around. So we're looking at Alonso at risk, Hamilton coming out. So it's Lawson, Alonso, and Hamilton with the three drivers we have to keep an eye on if they make it across the line. And Norris is doing laps right now. He's 3/10 off. He was Anthony moves up to seventh. So now we're getting into where we're baking things in. Russell is sixth, Antonelli's seventh right now. These are times they're not going to get around again. Max sort of improving his times. Max improves in sector 2, but he improves his time, but not his position. Gasly is 10th. Gasly moves up to 10th, so he gets out of the drop zone. He is the driver at risk, though, 109.637. Sainz moves up to 7th. He drops Gasly out, so Gasly will be eliminated. We've got 10 seconds. Alonso is going to get across the line with 7 seconds left to go. Hamilton is not going to get across the line. He's going to be one of the first to take the flag. Albon is not going to make it. So we know Gasly and Albon are out. Alonso on a lap, Alonso on a lap, Borrello on a lap. So Borrello is the next one to come across the line. He goes up to 11th. He's not going to make it. So Tsunoda driver at the risk right now. So we're looking at Alonso and Lawson. So Lawson does not improve his. Sorry, I'm reading that wrong. Lawson's at turn 13 now. Alonso at turn 12. So right now, Lawson is the next one to come across the line who's on a flying lap. He does 109.38. He goes up P7. He drops Tsunoda out of Q2. And Alonso comes to the line. He does 109.336. He goes P7. That drops Antonelli out of Q2. So we got the knockouts are Antonelli, Tsunoda, Borrello, Gasly, and Albon. And that is it for Q2. Couple of things. For someone new to F1 and watching McLaren for the first time, it's actually quite easy to feel like Oscar is the number one driver instead of Lando Norris. And I can understand that. Right now, they're treating those drivers both as number ones. They're letting them fight. They're letting them race, and I can understand. You can see Oscar as the number one driver and Lando being number two. But it really is they're just letting them both drive. I mean, it could very easily that Lando becomes the world champion. He overtakes it. Right now, Lando has an advantage on Oscar. I think the difference is 7 points, and I think, yeah, I think with so if Norris wins and Oscar second, I think we're going in to next race on even points. So that is where things stand with the McLarens right now. As it stands right now, Max is P3 2.48. Hamilton was 387 back. Leclerc was 430 back. Russell 439, so 9,000 between Leclerc and Russell. 492 for Alonso. 509 for Lawson. 565 for Isaac. And Sainz was 558. So the cut basically was a 109.493 4972. So the difference between P10 and P11 was 21 thousandths, not tenths. 21. We're talking two hundredths, 21 thousandths to be very specifically, 0.021. Stroll car's not fixed at time. Well, Stroll's car was eliminated in Q1, even though he did, and now he was eliminated. Even though he is eliminated in Q1, he doesn't set a time. He will be allowed to race because he set a representative lap time in the practice sessions. So someone's saying that makes F1 bored because Norris and Oscar are racing, and then they're making it look like fun. Uh, I don't understand that at all. I mean, that makes F1 exciting. You've got two guys almost on points with 10 races to go. Is the Aston Martin better this time? It may be the technical track. Alonso is also a great driver. The Aston Martin is a better car, and we know that because Alonso is performing better. He is qualifying higher. He's performing better in practices. He's getting better qualification. Again, he's in Q3. It's been a while where he's been consistently in Q3. And we know that there's been reporting that Newey has given the current engineering teams things that they can look at, pointers. He's given them a little bit of information on how they could improve the car. He's not necessarily Newey's not necessarily actively working on the car, but he has helped the team to make improvements. Right now, at the moment, Lewis Hamilton may qualify, but I doubt it's more because I mean he's in Q3. He qualified right now. He's P4 after Q2. Waiting right now for start of Q3. Not sure. It would be about a minute or so now. At this point, I don't see anything that needed to be adjusted on the track after Q2. So what was remember each of the sessions in Q. So we refer to Q1, Q2, Q3, qualifying 1, qualifying 2, qualifying 3. These are the 3 sessions. So we just finished Q2 qualifying 2, which is the second qualifying session. We knocked out. So at the end of Q1, we knocked out the bottom 5 drivers. At the end of Q2, we knocked out the next 11 through 15. Next year, when we have Cadillac on, we will have 22 cars. So Q1 will drop out. We will knock out 6 drivers, and then Q2 will drop out the next 6 drivers. So we'll go from 22 to 18, and then 22 to 16, and then 16 to 10 for each session. What does it mean when Albin complained about tires? Didn't see what he said, but he is typically a tire whisperer. So there's probably something with most likely with degradation that's in play. And we just started Q3, and Oscar's going to be the first car out. I was really hyped to go to Zandvoort tomorrow. Oh, wow. Congratulations on getting a ticket for tomorrow. Enjoy the race, my friend. Name race says, why has Lewis Hamilton been struggling much in qualifying recently? Um, Part of it is that he's in a new team. I mean, there's a couple things going on, but the biggest thing that is contributing is that he is on Ferrari for the first time this year, and he's got to deal with how Ferrari does things. He's asking, did we get a Fox on track? I did not see a Fox on track, unless you're referring to Alonso, who, unless you guys are saying it's a Fox in terms of Alonso. But I would also say that Hamilton has been in a bit of a funk since 2021. 2022, he wasn't the same driver as he was in 21. Yeah, there was just so name Hamilton. Hamilton's getting old. There's that as well. I mean, he is getting older, but um, I don't think he's at that point where. Yeah, it's one of those. I don't want to say that him getting old is part of the issue. So right now, Norris and Oscar are the first two on their first flying laps. Max is still in the pits. He has not come out yet. We've got under 10 minutes to go in this session right now, so we've already lost 2 minutes so far. Just looking right now, people asking, will it rain tomorrow? Potential, there's an 80% chance of rain. Here comes Norris. So Oscar does a 108.662. Norris does 108.672. And they are on new soft tires. Hamilton, trying to see who is. Russell will be the next one to finish a lap. Lawson is going to be finishing his out lap. Max is on track right now. He's on his out lap. Russell goes P3. He's almost 6 tenths back. Science goes 109.940. Paul is in the 108s right now, so I'm not going to worry too much about 109 times. Lonzo does 109.93. That's P4. That's over a second back from P4. So Isaac does 109.723. Max coming across the line and starting his flying lap. Next across the line will be Leclerc. He goes to P4. Got 8 minutes to go, so we've got 4 minutes gone in this session. Hamilton goes P4, 109.526. That's 8 tenths, 8.6 specifically behind Oscar. Oscar's pitting right now. That's to be expected. Norris is going to be doing the same. Here comes Lawson on his flying lap. Lawson's a 110.331. That leaves Max is the only one right now on a flying lap at the moment. Expect most of the drivers right now on track to pit. Russell's pitting. Sainz coming. I expect him to pit. So is Alonso. Then it will be Max. Because max cross line 109.804, that's P3, but that is still 386 back. It's 108 or bust right now for that pole position. So next 2 minutes, basically, we're going to see cars circle around and pit, and then we'll have them come back out 4 minutes to go, effectively. I don't think we're going to get a red flag, to be quite honest. We, I don't think we've got anyone who's going to be that crazy to do something they'll get a red flag. And those who had incidents early yesterday, got those. They did those yesterday to figure out how far they could push the car. Again, right now P1 to P10 is 1.6, almost 1.7 seconds. Max, last one on track. He's coming around to the pit lane entrance, and he pits. So with 5:40 left to go, all cars are pitting or have pitted. Oh, now we're just waiting for the next round. Well, about 90 seconds. Now's a great time. If you've not liked or subscribed on YouTube, it's a great time to do that. Hit the bell, you'll get notifications. Those of you who are on Twitch, if you follow the channel and you have your notifications set up, you'll get them. I know if you're watching after the fact on Facebook, again, just follow our notices, and you'll get a feed from either Twitch or YouTube. Sorry, TikTok users, I have no clue how that platform works. My apologies. If you're so kind, you could also join the channel. If you do that on Twitch, you'll get no ads. We also have a Patreon, and then we also have that which you can help support the channel. And we also have a Discord, which you can join the conversation after the fact. Four minutes, 30 seconds left to go. I'm waiting right now. Probably another 20 seconds before we see the first car go out. Do you think Norris can overtake Piastri tomorrow? Well, right now we haven't set the pole. I mean, right now Oscar's on provisional pole. He has a 108.662. Norris is 12,000 behind at 108.674. So right now Oscar's on provisional pole, but those two guys are going to go back out again. That is definitely certain. While on the pits, basically to put on new tires, make any adjustments to the cars that they need be. So they go out best as possible. And the McLarens are going to get out first. I saw one of the Ferraris get in behind them. People are asking about the point system in YouTube. We have our point system, basically by being in chat, by using super chats, being subscribed, buying subscription for other people, you will get points. Tanya says, "Why is no one liking the video? There's only 21." It's because that like meter doesn't update for everyone as it should. 3 minutes left to go, and they're now just piling out of pit lane. Sainz got out third. Clark will be fourth. And we are waiting. Again, it's a game of chicken. Is that you're waiting as much as possible to get out and get around, because you want to be the last person to basically do your flying lap, and that's because track evolution. So Norris and Oscar at a disadvantage, technically at a disadvantage for going first. Hamilton will be fifth, Lawson sixth, and Alonso seventh. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to go. So we're waiting for Russell, Hamilton, and Sorry, Verstappen and Isaac right now. So Norris is now doing their flying. Norris is going around again. Oscar's doing his flying lap. We'll see. We'll see. Norris does a 23.4. He's about half a tenth behind his best time. Oscar does a 23.358, which is improves in his best time in sector 1. So he's got a purple sector 1. Norris has the fastest second sector, but he is down a tenth, about 0.08 specifically, how far he's behind. Oscar does a 24.4. Oh, they're neck and neck going in. So Norris, he doesn't improve in his time. He does a 108.750. He did a 67.4. And Oscar does a 108.554. He's 4/10 slower, but his best time is still better. Sainz moves up to 5th. So right now, Oscar on provisional pole. I do not. We'll have to see. We'll have to see people do purple laps to dislodge that. So Sainz in right now locked in 6th. Leclerc moving up to 5th, moving Sainz to 6th. Next one to come around will be Hamilton. Hamilton's a 109 point, and that's going to move up to 6th. Sainz to 7th. Got Max, Russell, Isaac, Alonso, Lawson still to do their laps. Lawson is next, followed by Alonso. And then we'll see Russell. Here comes Lawson. He comes and moves up to 7th. Here comes Alonso right now. He's improving his times, but they're not purple sectors. And Alonso does a 109.630, moves with the 9th. Here comes Russell. Right now, 4th. He stays 4th. Here comes Isaac. He is 10th. And him and then Max are the last two. Here comes Max has a purple sector 2. Isaac moves up to 4th. Max is going to come in. He's going to go 3rd. He's only going to be 264, and that is going to be qualification. Everyone, Oscar is going to be coming out P1, Norris P2. So we've got a McLaren lockout in row 1. Max Verstappen is P3, and Isaac is P4. Everyone, that is huge, surprising. There is a yellow flag, but I think that is just because there's gravel on track, most likely. Session has ended, so don't worry about what has happened here. That is more likely a standard procedure that we're dealing with, so don't worry. Alonso Q time is better than Q3. Yeah, it happens. Yep, no one thought, no one in predictions in Twitch chat, no one put points down on Oscar. So we all lost points. I'm the big loser in those. So we lost 8,941 points for bet in stream and prediction stream in Twitch, and I put 5 of those of my points on Verstappen, and we all lost. So, anyways, moving over here, this is going to bring our coverage of Qualifying again, Oscar's on pole, Norris second. Verstappen is on second row behind Oscar, and Isaac's going to be behind Norris. So this is going to be spicy. Russell is going to be P5, Leclerc P6, Hamilton P7, Lawson P8, Sainz P9, Alonso P10. In Q2, Antonelli was knocked out, Sonoda P12, Borrell P13, Gasly P16, 14, Albon P15. And in Q1, we saw P16 Colapino knocked out, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Behrman, and then Stroll. Stroll likely going. I would think that Stroll is going to be a pit lane start, given that he hit the wall, and they're going to want to do work on his car. So they'll effectively you're going to brake park Ferme. Again, I want to thank everyone who came. Wherever you watch or you're watch on demand after the fact. Thank you. We will be back tomorrow for the race itself. It'll be interesting with Max and Isaac P2, P3. I'm sorry, P3, P4. That's going to make an interesting start. They're going to put pressure on. They're going to put pressure on the McLarens. We'll see what happens. All right. Again, for everyone here at Racing Sixes, this has been Grash Shariza, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.